The title of my talk today is on motion segmentation and tracking. So, today I will be dealing with different elements of motion analysis and introduction to motion segmentation and a little bit of visual tracking. Okay. First, an introduction to this basic topic of motion segmentation. I will illustrate this with the help of an example. Let us see this particular video here, full screen. Yeah. So, this is a video taken with some pretty old surveillance cameras at the University of Maryland College Park, and you can see two people who are loitering about aimlessly here, one of whom you may recognize, especially the tall 6-foot guy in the blue shirt, right. Okay. Now, given this video, the task at hand is to automatically segment out the one particular object. Let us say it is this black SUV here. Okay. The problem is basically we have to segment out this particular black SUV on the basis of motion information. We have to do this particular task of motion analysis and motion estimation automatically, and after that we can do some rather interesting things with it. We can do things like, with this particular object we can remove it automatically from the frames of the video, right, remove it, and also we might like to do something naughty with it. We might want to paste something over this parking lot. So, the initial part of my lecture today will deal with some techniques that will enable us to do so automatically. That is, in a nutshell, corresponding to this black vehicle, we would want to identify the pixels that are moving. After that, we would want to remove the object of interest, which is this black SUV out here. We would want to remove it from this video automatically, not manually frame by frame. And after that, at the end we would want to paste an image onto this parking lot box. Just a little bit of introduction, little bit of theory. There are two things. Physics says that one looks at a motion field. Okay, a motion field is the actual physical process wherein we identify an element of motion with each pixel, all right, because of the relative motion between the object and the camera. And optic flow or optical flow is something that is observable, all right, and that in general would correspond to the motion field. The motion field is the physical entity, और उसका जो impact है, उसका impact comes in terms of optic flow. In general, the optic flow is generally assumed to correspond to the motion field, apart from a couple of pathological cases. For instance, there could be a motion field, but need not result in optic flow. One particular example of this is, for example, a rotating sphere of a uniform color and texture. So, if this sphere is rotating, there is a motion field, physically there is motion, but there is no impact on the image. Image में कुछ पता नहीं चलता. Okay, that does not correspond to optic flow. And further, there could be no motion field, but there could be optic flow. For instance, there could be a very shiny sphere and a source of light moving all around that shiny sphere. उसमें कोई motion field नहीं है, the object is not moving, लेकिन it results in optic flow, or maybe the same sphere. All right, but in general in motion analysis, what we assume is that motion field corresponds to optic flow. All right. Now, in motion analysis, we specifically use simple 2D motion models. Okay, a very valid question is 2D ही क्यों? Why not 3D? Okay. Now, the reasons for this are following. 3D motion computation involves optimization over quite a few variables, and as you would have also worked on this, finding out the variables is generally a process of nonlinear optimization. I believe your group here uses quite a lot of AI based techniques. Multi-objective optimization, you use, I think, bacteria foraging and a couple of rather interesting algorithms for this. So, it is not too easy. Even the 2D case is not too easy. The 3D case involves estimating more parameters. So, it is obviously much more difficult. Well, 2D, the advantage is, yes, less variables. This is numerically stable. Numerical analysis is, it is not a science, it is an art. It is in fact a black art, okay, because there are lots of knobs to tune, and accordingly that gives you the optimization. Plus we have an over determined system. It always helps to solve problems in the least squares sense, right? Okay. Now let's motivate the problem as follows. Suppose this is a frame in a video at time t, and here note carefully, this is the frame at time t plus 1. Okay, ये देखिए. So normally क्या होता है, हम ऐसा assume करते हैं कि our sampling rate is actually very high. Temporal rate of sampling is actually quite high, so that two frames will not be too different from each other. This is an important assumption that is often used, because otherwise these problems are generally intractable. One generally has to put in some constraints in order to operate on that. इसमें the main important thing that one uses in any motion segmentation problem is the brightness constancy assumption. इसका क्या मतलब है? If I is a function, right? So here this is a function of x, y and t, that is a pixel in a video. A video can be taken to be a box, right? जिसमें कि ऐसे ऐसे काफ़ी frames हैं और हर frame में x और y coordinates हैं. So here, so the image brightness at a point x plus p, y plus q and at t plus 1 should correspond to the corresponding pixel in the image at point x comma y and at time t. हम यही कह रहे हैं कि दो frames हैं, एक time t पे है और एक time t plus 1 पे है, तो जो point time t पे xy पोजिशन पे था वही point हटके t plus 1 में x plus p, y plus q उस वाले पॉइंट पे आ रहा है. इज दिस पॉइंट क्लियर टू एवरीबडी, राइट? सो दिस इज अ रीजनेबल अजम्पशन. यही कह रहे हैं कि अ पर्टिकुलर ऑब्जेक्ट डज नॉट चेंज इट्स ब्राइटनेस और कलर ड्रास्टिकली. कई बार ऐसे हो सकता है, राइट? साइकेडेलिक लाइटिंग और जैसे पर्सन वॉकिंग अंडर द ट्रीज, कभी धूप कहीं छांव, उस टाइप का सिनारियो कभी कभी हो जाता है, लेकिन इन जनरल दिस इज अ रीजनेबली टेनेबल अजम्पशन. Okay, what do we do mathematically whenever we see such an expression? So mathematicians' eyes generally light up in such a scenario, or what one applies is generally a Taylor series approximation. So it's easier to apply a first order Taylor series approximation, right? First order Taylor series expansion में जो change हुआ है, इधर right hand side में without the change लिखते हैं plus p into the derivative of the image with regard to x, जितने भी variables हैं essentially वो derivatives लिखते हैं. The change in x into the derivative of the image with regard to x, q which is the change in y direction में कितना हिला है in terms of pixels, into the derivative of the image with regard to y, plus time में कितना change हुआ है, which is exactly one frame, 1 into the derivative with respect to time, that is I t. Now what are these quantities? अच्छा, इसको अगर compare करें और फिर वो ऊपर जो brightness constancy assumption है उसको लगाते हैं, I cancel out these two terms. Alright, so the result of which is the following equation. This is also called the classic Horn and Schunck equation for optic flow. This generally is the starting point for any motion based algorithm, जिसमें भी motion estimate करना चाहते हैं हम. Alright, now let's also have a look at how does one compute this. What is it in terms of computation? In terms of computation, see, this should be an ideal equation, ideally, right? Now p and q need not be constants, they can also be functions. They can be functions of x and y, and worse still, they can also be functions of t. Now depending on the parametric motion model that we put here, we will put restrictions on p, q, okay, and then try to solve for them. Essentially our idea is to motion estimation means find the motion कि कितना हिला है p, q, essentially x direction में कितना हिला है point और y direction में कितना हिला है. That's our basic problem in motion estimation. Now we also need to get the physical significance of these terms. What is Ix? That is the partial derivative of the image taken as a two-dimensional signal with regard to the x direction. What is that? It's a simple edge detector. Okay, just simply apply an edge detector in the image with respect to x. Okay, this can be as simple as a finite difference in the x direction. Okay, what is Iy? This does differentiation of the image or finds out vertical edges, okay, finds out edges in the y direction. And what is it? It is the temporal derivative. Essentially you can approximate that as the difference in time, that is frame t plus 1 minus frame t, that's all. Okay, so these quantities are easy to compute and also easy to compute fast. you can do it pretty fast, because these are all order n operations. Okay, these are linear time operations, they can be done rather fast. So in the discrete case, continuous case में p ix plus q iy plus it would be equal to 0 ideally. ठीक है, अगर continuous ऐसे variables मिल जाएं, लेकिन discrete case में typically we put it in the form of an optimization problem, because this could be a small quantity. In the discrete case, small quantity positive हो सकता है, negative हो सकता है. So to get rid of that, we put a square, and we would want to minimize the sum of squares. Okay, a minimization of a squared error over a region corresponding to the object of interest. Okay, now this actually raises a chicken and egg problem. अगर हमें motion estimation अगर हमारा accurate है, अगर हम बता पाते हैं कि motion क्या है, उसको accurately estimate कर पाएं, then we know the object of interest. अपने आप पता चलेगा कि क्या object of interest है. And on the other hand, if you know the object of interest, it's easier to estimate the motion. Why? Because there could be more than one moving object in the image, right? Each with its own motion. हर एक का motion estimate करना है. अगर हमें मालूम है कि कौन से object का motion estimate करना है, if we know that these are the pixels we have to examine, so the motion estimation problem becomes easier. So we have a chicken and egg problem. एक चीज़ में अगर थोड़ी आसानी है तो दूसरा solve हो जाता है, but then we don't. So this is the difficulty of the problem. Now one of the simplest models for this is what happens if p and q are constants. Okay, constants means this is a simple translation, right? एक particular pixel translates in x and y. All right, if it's a pure translation, if this is a constant, then you get a translational model, and what you have to solve after this is a partial derivative of this error function with regard to the two variables tx and ty. Solve them equal to 0. दो variables हैं p and q, दो equations हैं p and q और tx and ty, दो equations हैं. You can do this. So if we do this for all pixels in this region and also put it into a matrix form, right? कैसे करते हैं? It's a simple partial derivative इसका. That's all. Just put it equal to 0. You get two equations and this is what you get. This is rather simple. ये किसी भी किताब में मिल जाएगा. This is essentially, this comes from the 1980 or 81 I think AI paper by Horn and Shunk. That is almost the starting point for motion estimation. Okay, and yeah, this is essentially what I said. This is a chicken and egg problem. अगर हमें region of interest मालूम है, we can estimate the motion. For instance, जो वीडियो दिखाया था, अगर हमें मालूम है कि इस वाले region में वो black SUV है, right, जिसको segment out करना है, then the problem becomes easier. But however, we do not know this automatically because you have two people, okay, who are also loitering about in the scene aimlessly. उनका क्या करें? Right. So motion segmentation works as follows. This is one. This was there in a 1994 paper in the International Journal of Computer Vision. This is the work of Michal Irani, Benny Russo, and Shmuel Peleg. Okay, this is what I am describing here. First step is find the dominant translation using a pyramidal approach. Now, normally even in signal processing problems, this technique is sometimes used. Okay, looking at a signal across scales. Wilsky का काम है इसमें, फिर काफ़ी लोगों का काम है. This is a pyramidal approach. So essentially one looks at an image at different scales. So one looks at scaled versions. जैसे एक बड़ा image है पूरे resolution में, one looks at an image at half the resolution, उसका half and so on. This helps. A hierarchical thing helps. After that we segment it out, जो dominant translation है. So if we have a chicken and egg problem, you need some point to approach it. जो चक्रव्यूह है उसको उसमें अंदर जाने के लिए कोई ना कोई तरीका होना चाहिए. We have to start at a particular point, right? So we start using this, finding the dominant translation. This is easy and computationally simple. The first step is segmenting it out, possibly using sequential labeling or any other method of segmentation. उसके बाद we apply a higher order motion model to the segmented region, not to the entire image. पूरे image में से सबसे पहले हम dominant translation निकालते हैं, उसके बाद higher order उसको segment out करते हैं और फिर उसको refine करते हैं step wise. Okay, we apply a higher order motion model. जैसे इस case में this was just translation. You could apply a affine motion model also. You could apply a projective motion model also. You could do lots of things with it. And we repeat the above till convergence till a particular error criterion has been met. अच्छा, और multi resolution framework क्यों? The idea is as follows: we start at the lowest level, right, least resolution level. We estimate the motion parameters according to whatever motion model we have, let's say translation, ठीक है, motion parameters estimate किए. After that we register the two images. Let's say signal है, ठीक है, सिग्नल सबसे कम रेजोल्यूशन में है, ओके, वहाँ से हमने कितना हटा है, कोई सिग्नल पॉइंट वो एस्टिमेट किया है. उसके बाद वी रजिस्टर्ड द टू इमेजेस, यानी हायर लेवल पे वी एस्टैब्लिश अ कॉरस्पॉन्डेंस कि ये अगर 2 पिक्सल यहाँ पे होता तो इस वाले सिग्नल में कितने पिक्सल्स होते, मे बी 4 पिक्सल होता, राइट. सो यू हैव अ मोर एक्यूरेट. सो वी इटरेट ओवर द टू इमेजेस, वी इंटरपोलेट द मोशन पैरामीटर्स to the next resolution level and refine this using higher resolution images. So lowest level से हम highest level तक जाते, right. And what these people propose is two functions. One is called the motion measure, okay, which is a measure of the amount of motion at a particular pixel. So brighter means more motion there, okay. They propose this, which is slightly noisy. This is exactly why optic flow is said to be noisy, okay. It's not that reliable. And additionally, okay, this is for example the dominant moving object, and there is another measure which they call as a sort of a कि कितना confidence है in that particular motion. Okay, so this is just a little bit of math. This is one of the functions that the authors propose here. This is what they call a motion measure. Well, just look at it, and physically this is exactly it. कि it is a temporal derivative over a particular region. It's essentially a temporal derivative, all right, and which is tuned with some part of a spatial derivative. Spatial derivative because why? Because the image could be a low contrast image. अगर दो लो कंट्रास्ट इमेजेस, दो फ्रेम्स ऐसे देखें तो उन दोनों का डिफरेंस उतना ज़्यादा आएगा नहीं. लेट्स से इट्स बीन टेकन इन द डार्क, इवनिंग में लिया गया है, तो ज़्यादा तो फर्क नहीं होगा उसमें as compared to two images that were taken in a brightly lit environment. So you need to normalize by something like this, and this of course is for numerical stability. हम denominator को कभी ज़्यादा छोटा नहीं होने देंगे, वरना the function will explode, right? Small denominator. And the second thing here is what the authors propose is a reliability measure. Okay, आपको ये वाला matrix तो ये तो आपने देखा होगा ना पिछले वाले slide में. It's essentially this. So reliability they find as the ratio of the minimum eigenvector to the maximum eigenvector corresponding to this. This people would know as the inverse of the condition number of a matrix. Okay, right. And we take a decision. A pixel is stationary if its motion measure is low and the reliability of the motion measure is high, and a pixel is moving if the motion measure is high and the reliability also should be high. So you can see that ये थोड़ी जल्दी में मैंने prepare किया है, so there is an error here. Enough of math. What we will be all waiting for is results. ये videos हैं. Full screen कर देते हैं. See, there are errors. ये मैंने एक assignment में दिया था. So the idea was to estimate the motion. चलिए वापस जब ये आता है फिर देखते हैं. There could be errors in the motion estimation because there could be pixels which, देखिए, apparently this is a constant, most of the road should be of constant intensity, लेकिन थोड़ा variation हो रहा है. This was a very old surveillance camera at the University of Maryland College Park, जिससे ये surveillance video लिया गया है. But you'll see that in majority of the cases the motion estimation is reasonably good. इस केस में for instance it identifies the dominant motion wrongly, बीच में. It got to those two loafers out there. Okay, but then again it picked up. This is another attempt at segmentation. Essentially ये मैंने assignment में दिया था. So I asked people to choose their parameters accordingly in terms of the region, in terms of the motion model, कितने levels पे hierarchically देखेंगे image को. So all of these I told them you tune your parameters. So these are just a couple of assignments. इसमें भी देखिए it's possible to do this motion segmentation rather in a rather robust manner and also rather fast. Okay, ये 1994 का paper है, and what they claimed was that this could be done in close to real time. And you can see this is not a very easy segmentation case क्योंकि ये फिर वो पेड़ों की छाँव में भी जा रहा है. वो गाड़ी वहाँ पे भी जा रही है. Okay, so it's possible to do that segmentation reasonably reliably. Okay, now if you can segment out the moving object of interest, this is a stationary camera, this is a stationary surveillance camera, right? What can you do? अगर आइडेंटिफाई किया है कि ऑब्जेक्ट यहाँ पे है, जब ऑब्जेक्ट हट गया है, you can paste back the original pixels when the object has moved out into the frames. Do you get the point? ये देखिए, जैसे ये वाला एग्जाम्पल है, इसमें हमने आइडेंटिफाई किया है कि मूविंग पिक्सल्स को वाइट से ड्रॉ किया है, ठीक है. अब ये यहाँ से हट गया है, अब ये यहाँ से हटा है, तो अगर जो से पिक्सल्स वाइट में मार्क हो गए थे, अगर ओरिजिनल पिक्सल्स यहाँ से पिकअप करें और फिर वहीं उन फ्रेम्स पे पेस्ट करें जहाँ पे वो वाइट पिक्सल्स थे, वी विल एसेंशियली गेट अ वीडियो विथ द ऑब्जेक्ट रिमूव्ड एंड बिलीव मी द इफेक्ट इज रादर इंटरेस्टिंग. ये देखिए, दिस इज वन पर्टिकुलर अटेम्प्ट. इसको फुल स्क्रीन कर देते हैं. यू विल सी सम एरर्स, you might see some errors, जैसे यहाँ पे दिख रहा है, बट द इफेक्ट इज rather interesting. हट गया है. It's as if that black SUV was not there at all. Okay? हमने ऑटोमेटिकली इसको हटाया है. हमने हर फ्रेम में कोई ह्यूरिस्टिक नहीं लगाया है या फिर हर फ्रेम में मैनुअली इसको हटाया नहीं है. It's been done automatically. This is what I want to emphasize. Yeah, because right now this vehicle should be backing out. Right? और यहाँ पे you can see a bit of the reflections. Okay? So this is not well, this physical process is not perfect, all right, but you can actually do a lot. And आजकल the amount of special effects that are being used in movies, lots of image processing, computer graphics, computer vision techniques are being used in movies, all right, and we've all seen them. काफ़ी movies में देखा है, okay, both Hollywood movies as well as in India. Maybe we'll talk about a couple of special effects in movies. Have you seen the movie Pearl Harbor? It's a Ben Affleck movie. अगर आपने Pearl Harbor देखा है, okay, that scene where all of these B-26 bombers take off from that aircraft carrier. In reality, there wasn't a single airplane on that deck. It was basically a model. That was duplicated all throughout, or in most cases, it was actually a model that was taking off. Model means a graphical model, जिसको image based rendering techniques से बनाया गया है. Further, if you've seen the movie AI, that was a complete flop by Spielberg, but that had some rather interesting things, wherein a person is walking and you can see through his face. In that case, tracking was done, tracking of points on the face, visual tracking. मैं tracking का भी थोड़ा जिक्र करूँगा. And after that, some of these motion removal techniques were used. Hollow Man तो आपने कई लोगों ने देखा होगा. उसमें actually things were done a bit manually, wherein the person, those particular pixels were painted with green, or the person was wearing something green, और फिर जो green pixels थे उनको हटाया गया था from the frames. Closer to home, Shivaji. This was the Tamil blockbuster. Has anybody seen Shivaji? Okay, yeah, I saw it a couple of days back. उसमें for instance hero Rajinikanth has been shown as a fair man. Okay, उसमें ऐसे ही किया था. Basically a mapping was established to a fair person and the skin colored pixels were removed. You can actually check for a couple of errors. अगर आप बहुत ध्यान से देखें, there are some errors in Rajani's face, for instance, like, and the overall effect isn't too bad. So image processing techniques are used widely in movies, okay, not just in Hollywood, here also. इसमें देखिए कुछ ऐसे artifacts दिखेंगे आपको, but the overall effect, this is actually a very simple algorithm. यहाँ पे भी थोड़े artifacts आपको दिखेंगे, okay, as if a ghost is moving about. But the main point is we have been able to do this automatically. Automatically हमने इसको segment out किया है. And all of these are 90s developments. Will be a bit naughty and will paste an image on the parking box. कैसे आएगा? हाँ, ठीक है, इसको देखिए. How about that? So an advertiser could basically put in an advertisement out here. So all of these are interesting applications of one algorithm. आपके पास algorithm है हाथ में, right? You can just apply your imagination and do things whatever you want to do with this. इसमें motion estimate किया है, उन pixels को replace कराया है और फिर हर frame में ये वाला box paste कर दिया गया है. Look at this for example. So you can see that the motion segmentation is reasonably good. Okay. So see, techniques like this can be used in movies as well and have been used. Okay. In movies there is generally not much scope for error. There would be an artist who would be doing some fine touch-ups, but otherwise मोटे तौर पे these sort of techniques work rather well.